up? And welcome back to Krown's magical Bear Jesus Cave.
Bear Jesus is back, baby. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. Has the prayers to Bula Jesus been answered or not? That is a real question today. That always remains. But there actually is a little bit of hope and prosperity on the other side of this. And we'll be discussing that, of course, on the greater term timeframes. Discussing, again, why the big reasons why do you think Bitcoin perhaps has bottomed already. And perhaps what the short-term timeframes are doing in the interim. Now, with that in mind, even if Bitcoin has bottomed here, that does not mean that Bitcoin can't come back down and scare the absolute bejesus out of you down to about $35,000. So we'll be discussing that. And then, of course, it's a weekend time too soon, so you can actually fucking sleep again. I haven't slept this whole goddamn week. Every once in a while, you get one of these times. You just kind of have to roll with it because, well, there's just money to be made in this market right now. There's insane opportunity, and we are all smoking the opium, says Tony Willem. Well, maybe we are, my friends. Inject, wrap up those veins, and fucking shoot it straight into my veins, because we do need some opium right now, as Bitcoin does do the dance of death right around that $40,000 level. Anyways, in a more pulled back tone right now, I would like to offer up some prayers to Bula Jesus, so please join your hands together and pray with me to Bula Jesus. Bula Jesus, forgive us, for we have sinned. We have believed in red dildos that have been shoved in our anguses and out of our mouth holes. Now we are shish kebabs and popsicle sticks, and now we cannot no longer live like this. Bula Jesus, show us the way, for we have lost our way right now. We are in the desert of 40 years, and we cannot find our way back on our own. Bula Jesus, hear our prayers in this day on the 21st of May. Amen. And there we fucking go, baby. Just like that, green dildos injected in this market. And that's all you need, man. Just a little bit of hopium. No real technical reasons, no real fundamental reasons. Just a bunch of fucking 4chan meme sort of hopium. And there you go, baby. There you go. Anyways, into the Krown Chain application we go, because now we have to actually talk about things that fucking matter. And what do we see over here? We do see several things that are, once again, kind of ticking in favor of what we spoke about over the past, I guess, day and a half now. So Bitcoin dominance did come back a little bit from that 44.5% region to now 42.5% region. I do still look at this as the bounce over underway on the long term of this. Now, macro still obviously is down, but I would be looking for the bounce of the Bitcoin dominance to essentially correlate on the next high with the next sort of momentous rally, obviously with altcoins moving up as well, but very likely the next major signal that Bitcoin actually has regained itself. And we do see the general market just kind of float to the upside. What's up, Richard Christensen? There he is. Good morning, brother. Good morning, Mr. Brother Christensen, our resident clergyman today. Gotta love it, man. Anyways, what else do we see? Fear and Greed Index also popping up rather significantly. Well, kind of. After we got to multi-year lows yesterday, I think it was about a 9 or 11, whatever it was. It was extremely low, and now popping up to a 19. So the market is regaining a slight amount of confidence. And this is kind of what you can expect during these times. It is going to whip around quite significantly. Open interest also is kind of playing within the same range, 5.4 billion, but realistically we need to go into the market data tab to really nail that one down. But before we get there, I do want to call out the top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins. Before I say that, by the way, there is mobile functionality for the Krown Chain application, which is 100% free, and you can co-claim your free account whenever you want. Anyways, and also you can actually get your free charts on here too. If you just click the names themselves, it'll pull these up. It's a little bit shaky on the mobile right now, but we're going to come up with a hotfix on that relatively soon. Anyways, a lot of coins having a really strong bounce back, as you would expect. I mean, this market's incredibly volatile right now. So even if things are bouncing up, 20, 30%, does that mean that the overall downside is over? Does that mean that everything's safe? No. As always, there are more important things to be looking at, but it is rather interesting nonetheless. And of course, this is why I do say as a trader right now, insane amount of opportunity right now. And this is really the time that you do have to kind of put in hours at the desk, because you don't really get too many of these opportunities as a trader. As an investor, is this time to be investing? I do think that there is going to start to be some opportunities within this region, and we'll be discussing that soon enough. But I do want to call out some of the better actors within the last 24 hours, as we do see Monero, Nano, Filecoin, Telcoin, Solana, Helium, Ontology, Stacks, KuCoin token, and 0x all posting major gains. I mean, Monero up 30%. That is insane. So the ones that do bounce back typically is going to be a greater sign. We did see several charts yesterday that were actually acting relatively well. In fact, I think Polygon or Matic might even have a green weekly going on right now. In fact, I do believe it does. On the other side, top 10 worst coins: Cello, Venus, XRP. No, not again. We're on to Waves, Polygon actually giving up a little bit of its gains, it looks like. Oh, and we just updated. Now down about 2.3%. Did have a really good bounce back yesterday, so now just giving up a little bit of that. But it's a long day to go, of course. And we do see Sushi Swaps, so the food tokens on there, Clayton, Ravencoin, Phantom, all on the losers list. More or less muted losses. I mean, well, then again, negative 5%. That would be absolutely devastating to traditional markets. Not as devastating to crypto markets. So I do want to say, if you are from the traditional markets, like I came into this market, 3-4 years ago, understand that things really do move around a shit ton more, and I really had to adjust to that when I came in from traditional markets. Anyways, into the market data tab we go. A lot of things to be speaking about around here, as we do see our first what is resembling low. Now this obviously is a lower low, so if you are looking at the trend right here, which is just easy to see from a line chart, we got our high, we got our low, we got our lower high, we got our lower low. So it is a downtrend, and keep in mind Bitcoin is downtrending on the daily as long as we're making lower highs and lower lows. And where's our last lower high? Should I say it? 58,844 on, I believe this is Stamp right here, or maybe it's a conglomeration of all major exchanges, but that is clean, what, $20,000 above where we're currently at right now. So not happening anytime soon, obviously, but what is likely to happen is we see a bit of a bounce right here. Bitcoin probably puts in a lower high somewhere around the mid to low $40,000 region, and then we play the game. We play the very, very fun game of, is this going to be a lower low or not? and with that in mind, I should also call out the open interest over here, which did have that absolutely massive cratering effect, essentially representing that someone or multiple people, in fact a shit ton of people within this market, got cleared out of the books, we'll say. And this is what you do want to see on these sort of like resetting moves. And I would say that overall the open interest does still suggest that long term on the macro scale, Bitcoin actually, at least I would still have a bullish bias on this at the current moment in time. I would actually not get macro bearish, and macro bearish would mean essentially, probably coming back down to like $20,000, maybe even below that. But we're dealing with really, really big numbers here. So when I say something like that, I don't want someone to think, oh, then that means I just directly go into Bitcoin right now. No. That is not the way to be fucking looking at it, because these ranges are so goddamn massive that it can be career any move if, until you see something that's like very, 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 very clear. But as it stands right now, this would suggest that most of that movement was longs either getting liquidated or taking profit. I imagine a little bit more in favor of the liquidation aspect of that equation. Anyways, you do want to see a reset on this within the midst of an overall, within the overall market cycle. On top of that, the funding rate has actually had a nice bounce back as well. I think that we're actually right around parity right now. Let's go dial in the data. No, this would actually look a lot more like the exchanges that matter most. OKX, Bybit, BitMEX, Huobi are all posting negative rates. Binance is slightly positive, just barely though. And we do see FTX and a few others just actually not really not really anyone else. In fact, Deribit and Kraken both posting slightly negative rates as well. Now, this was a really, really big deal yesterday, as you can see right on over here on the funding rate chart, as we did get, some pretty massive negative rates. Now, massive negative rates on the lows alongside all of the other signals that we did talk about, is at the very least a good bounce signal, and so far so good. We did hit our $42,500 target from yesterday's short-term analysis video, and we'll also kind of play it off the daily level as well. So with all of that in mind, is there anything else that I want to be calling out right here? I mean, this is really the big one for me, actually. Global funding rate looking a lot more, it looks a lot more aggressive over here, as you can see on that chart. But there's one other thing that I maybe wanted to call out. What was it? Yes, the Bitcoin dominance over here. We do see a clear and obvious bounce up from that region. So I do look for that to kind of play into the macro scale. Remember, that was also kind of giving us a bias that, hey, Bitcoin was likely going to make a major move, in this case to the downside, when we did test around our macro lows. That was at just below 40% region, now playing out. So I'd be looking for an interpretation on that. Any sort of a lower high on the Bitcoin dominance chart over the next, I don't know, maybe a couple months here, that's probably going to be a damn good signal for another major pivot within the market. So as it stands right now, I think it's time to go into the actual charts themselves. I am damn thirsty, so let me just break this up right here, and let's see if we can get through this one. Man, I am running on such low sleep this week, but the show must go on, and we'll survive, man. We'll survive. Just like that song, we will survive. Uh-oh, there's the naughty alarm right there. Let me just take a sippy sip of this, and then we'll get right into it. There we go, baby. There we go. What's up, Nimbo? For his safety. There we go. Our caretaker, Frozen, and Nimbo all keeping everyone safe and softly right now. Okay, so I wanna kind of reiterate the main reasons why I do think Bitcoin has probably put in a macro low right here, or at least a major low, of which, we've already seen about almost a 50% bounce from this region. So you could say that that's, kind of maybe already happened. But here's the thing. We do see, and this is CME chart, by the way. CME chart, I do believe, matters the most within this whole realm. The reason being because it does have the most futures trading volume. Technically, OKX has a little bit more than it, but as we can estimate, OKX has a lot of wash trading going on as well. I mean, that was revealed a couple years ago, or I think it was like a year and a half ago in one of those reports. Anyways, as it stands right now, yes, we did bounce off the 200 simple. It does still have a positive slope as well. By the way, major volume blocks being thrown down on that. The only other level that we have seen that was akin to what we've seen over here was, well, not even coronavirus sometimes, funnily enough. It was actually way the fuck back on over here. But the thing is that this data is a little bit deceiving because this is measured in coins traded, not dollars traded. And when you have this volume block over here compared to this volume block over here, when price action is, you know, is leagues above there. I mean, this was over around the $6,000, $7,000 region. So that would imply that this is actually a lot more trading going on right here. Now, I was listening to CNBC yesterday because I like to do that from time to time, and it's just hilarious, especially during times like this. And they said something that just it makes you just really fucking shake your head. And it's like, okay, really? They said something along the lines of this was clearly institutions selling to retailers or retailers selling to institutions, whatever it was. That's fucking garbage. That couldn't be further from the goddamn truth. When you see volume like this, these are major players, these are institutions, these are big fund managers, very, 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 very likely. That's the only way that you can get this amount of volume traded at these sort of levels. So when you see that, typically is a good, at the very least, great bottoming signal, perhaps a macro bottoming signal right here. But as I typically look at, I really do not like calling a bottom until the obvious has happened. Well, I want to see an uptrend, and the soonest that we can see an uptrend is at the very least want to see a higher low. So as it is right now, we are playing the very fun game of, is Bitcoin going to make lower lows or higher lows in this case, as we did come up all the way and test around the 200, I believe it was, yes, 200 exponential average from yesterday's target, right above $42,000. So once again, hitting that region. And as long as Bitcoin plays between the 200 simple and 200 exponential average, that's okay, especially as long as the 200 simple does have a positive slope. But the other big things that I do want to call out right here are, of course, the major ones. BBWP hitting a 99.21 percentile. This is incredibly important to me. This might even be the most important signal to myself. Anytime that you do see BBWP, any sort of volatility-based indicator, which I favor this one over pretty much anything else that I have access to right now. And I would say that is damn good signal that at the very least we have a major pivot. What I can do now is I can show you where this has been true in the past. Now, this both works to the upside and the downside. Volatility is obviously direction neutral. And in this case, we do see, well, we're not gonna be able to find actually too many of the downside signals because this was mostly an upside market right here. But you do see that these were pivots to the upside, of course, going into a bit of consolidation phase. Now, the last time we actually saw this happen on a downside phase, getting into actually the deeper 99s, even 100 percentile over here, was, well, you fucking guessed it, it's March in 2020. That's March 13th, the coronavirus dump time, right fucking here. 100 percentile, 2 days in a row, actually, as Bitcoin puts in a low. And on the first tick of 100 percentile, that actually was the low. I also want to show you something else that I think is actually rather important here too. And this would be the next major signal. In fact, if I was just to make this as easy of analysis as I can, this would be it actually. I would say, look, you got your BBWP over here getting to 100 percentile. As soon as the moving average on this starts to wrangle and the BBWP starts to trend below while this gets a negative slope, that is literally right here. Guess where that is? That is your higher low on that next momentous drive. And that would have been, in hindsight, one of the most impressive buys in this market for a very long time. On top of that, we even did see some phantom divergence right here as well. You can just barely see it on Caretaker's RSI, but I'm referencing this guy right here. And while we didn't necessarily get down to that same level on the RSI, I would say that these is certainly at an extreme right now. We're at a 23 read, which is pretty fucking low. Yes, it can always go lower, of course. I really push back against people who do say something along the lines of, bro, that RSI is way too fucking, you see this all the time. Bro, the RSI is like below 30, and you know, if the RSI is below 30, that means it's oversold. And you know what happens when it's oversold? That's right, bro, goes up all the time. I'm fucking long. It's like, no, it can always go lower. And in this case, you really want to be seeing divergence, if anything. But what I would say, though, is that we do have a clear and obvious signal on the weekly RSI, which is in progress. This one, I would say you can look at as going to be confirmed probably today, because CME will close today for Friday closure at about 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, I believe. And obviously, you know, regular spot price action will close on Sunday, but CME very heavily influences regular spot price action. So if we pull back into the annals of history right here, we can see a very clear and obvious sort of basing area for both the upside and downside market cycles here. I'll throw in my drawing tools right there, and I've essentially created a zone right here. This is what I refer to as a neutral zone. And as long as the weekly RSI is remaining above this region, that is, sorry, coffee coming up right now, apologies. By the way, I had some steak this morning too. It's the first time I've eaten in the morning since like fucking ages, it's been years. Anyways, definitely desperately needed it, by the way. Anyways, yes, looking at this right here, we are right at that level. And guess what? What was the last time that within the context of the bullish market, we actually did test this level? Well, that'd be right here, in fact. Let me just take away the drawing tools really quickly. That would be quite literally right here. I'm talking about this guy right here, July 2013. That was on this major low after this major high. And guess what? On a closure-to-closure basis, how bad of a drop-off was this? Well, about 56%. Rather interesting now, isn't it? Now, if we go to current times, how far away price action have we gone on this current drop? Well, from top to bottom, we have about 53% drop down, actually. Doesn't necessarily mean that it has to play exactly like that, but I do think that it is rather eerie right there. And I would say that as long as the weekly RSI does remain above this zone, I do look at this as at least long-term a bias towards reaccumulation within this region. Now, this is a weekly, so this can take some time. And again, I actually do think that lower term timeframes probably will play back down into the median of the short-term timeframe range. That means another move probably back down to like the mid $30,000 region. But overall, I would be starting to look at that as an opportunity. If you see any sort of bottoming signals there, even on a fucking 4 hour, I'd start to look at that as, you know, rather telling, if you will. Anyways, on top of that, what else do we have? Of course, we already talked about CME volume. We can also talk about what? We can also talk about oh yes, that was right. We did have a 4 hour jewel buy signal as well yesterday, or sorry, maybe not yesterday. When was this? This was 20th of May. So that was yesterday, actually. Pretty damn good right here. This signal is eerily fucking similar to what we saw, by the way, on coronavirus dump time as well. I'll pull you back all the way to March of 2020, and it's right here. Guess what? You see this incredibly aggressive signal. Now, typically speaking, I do not take these signals. They're a little bit too aggressive for me. I like to take the obvious ones. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they're not going to doesn't mean that they're not going to work out. Just personally speaking, I'm more on the side of a conservative trader. I really value capital preservation over going for like the low, because at the end of the day, there can always be another low after the low. I want to see an uptrend. I want to see a higher low. That's what I want to do if I am going to do a bit of trend trading, which at the current moment in time, I will be looking for something like that, yes, but we haven't seen it just yet. We still have a downtrend on all time frames. I believe 3 hour and above. We can double check on that soon enough. Anyways, I'm talking about this signal right here. We see the green in the background. We do see that it comes in incredibly aggressively and then bounces off. Well, measure that against what we saw yesterday. That was right here. Very, 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 very similar. Green in the background, bounces off there very aggressively. And I would be looking for to kind of, come back down again and line up for another decent buy signal. That's usually the one that I want to get into. And as it stands right now, yes, I should offer up a little bit of doomium on the other side. Look, if you want to make this as easy as possible, does Bitcoin have an uptrend right here? Fuck no, it does not. In fact, if anything, we have hidden bearish divergence in progress right now. Now, don't we? Yeah, 1, 2, 3 drives, many drives right here. Now, typically speaking, when you start to see this like print a lot of these way far away, those ones seem to be, around the end of a trend. But in this case right here, it does deserve a bit of, it does deserve certainly a call out and at least some respect for myself. Perhaps you can decide for yourself out there as well. But in this case, I mean, what do we have right here? We have a downtrend. Where's our last lower high? Well, if you're looking at this area right here, it's technically not considered a lower high just yet. Technically, this would be your last lower high, but that's a lot more doomium right there, unfortunately, for the Boulos 45,400-ish region. So even on the lower term timeframes, Bitcoin's not in a threatening posture to put in an uptrend at least for another $5,000 from current stature. Now, if we do come back down here, confirm this is a local high, then that will be our next lower high, right around about just below $42,000. And then you got to hope and pray to Boulah Jesus that Bitcoin does put in a higher low somewhere above about $35,000. If that can happen, that'll start to look pretty damn good, at least for another good drive to the upside. But for right now, it's time to be cautious in my experience. I do think that it's time to be very, very cautious right now. So there are several reasons, again, why I kind of do think that, again, coming back into the fundamental or the underlying market dynamic reasons over here, the funny rate was a big one for me, also open interest, all of these things play together. And with that in mind, I also want to bring up this as well. Now, this is a more fundamental based type thing, but the stock to flow model, which I am not, the problem with the stock to flow model is that I think it's very interesting. I have a lot of respect for Plan B. I also understand that there's a lot of pushback on this as well. I understand that there's a lot of people who disagree with this, but for the time being, it does still technically work out. And I think that deserves respect. And for myself, as a trader, the way that I look at indicators is I look at them as having a statistical chance to actually work out. And as long as it works out, I look at it as respectable. And in this case, I mean, technically speaking, it has been working out. And if you do make a relationship to our last cycle, you could perhaps say that in our current stature, structure, we are doing some dissimilar to what Bitcoin did on that drop from, I believe it was about 5,000 to 3,000, which I actually remember. That was about the time that I really started to come into this market more, more full-time. I think I came in like full-time at the end of 2018, early 2019. I actually gave up my market making badge and decided to become a fucking crypto trader. And here I am. Holy shit, man. What the fuck is my life? Yeah, I moved away from Chicago, moved to Finland, and gave up my prestigious market making authorized trader badge. And here I am, all in crypto. And I'm fucking happy about it too, because I guess maybe I'm a little bit crazy. Anyways, let me take another sip of this coffee right here, because I am damn thirsty, my friends. And there we go. Okay, I feel like there's a couple other things that I do want to talk about. Yeah. Okay, so again, I do want to offer up a little bit of Doomima on the other side, but before that, yes, that's the last thing that I wanted to talk about right here. There we go. Okay, on our secondary charts, remember the hash ribbon signal. This is the next major one for me as well. If we start to print this signal, I will feel I will trade with confidence and maybe even hold some long-term long positions. I might actually do that. I typically do not like doing that. Especially in this market, because of what it does. But in this case right here, it's a hard signal to ignore, as it does, well, historically speaking, work incredibly well. So what am I looking for right here? Or should I even explain the hash ribbon signal first? No, I shouldn't, because we've done this a million goddamn times. But what I would say is definitely reference the long-term analysis playlist. I go through this in depth on the last few videos there. But for right now, maybe I'll go through one example kind of similar to yesterday, and we can see, let's actually go to the one from coronavirus dump time. We do see the capitulation signal. It actually happens after the ultimate low of this dump, which is, not a good timer, obviously, to the downside. But that's not what we're looking for right now. This one only really has good results to the upside. And even then, it's not like a great timer of it. But as you can see, from the capitulation signal to the buy signal, you can see that it takes, or at least it starts on the 17th of March. Then you get the buy signal on the 25th of April. So March, April, so that's a little bit more than 1 month, about a month and 2 weeks, we'll say. And then that blue buy signal into your next momentous drive to the upside was, well, that was again 22nd of April, and then we started moving right here on the 27th, 28th of April, so almost a week later. And I'll just kind of spoil a surprise for you. Again, I strongly suggest that you do backtest these yourself, or just watch those videos as we do it there. But ultimately, what we found is that from signal given on capitulation to buy, typically about a month to a month and a half, and then after the buy signal, about 1 to 2 weeks for that next momentous move. If Bitcoin does print a blue buy signal over here, which it has not done just yet, however, it has done something that, well, is respectable. It has had that solid green color right here. Then I would be looking at that as a good signal that Bitcoin very likely does kind of chop its way back upwards and onwards. Similar to what you saw maybe even over here as well. This was a very sloppy move, by the way. Very, very sloppy move. And I really didn't even turn bullish on this until about 7,500 over here. That's, I was incredibly conservative on this one. And I might even do the same thing on this, on this current one as well. But as you can see, I'm actually curious if we can come up with a bit of a retracement and see if this is or where the relevancy of this is in the greater scheme of things. And yeah, that's right around the 0.5 retracement. Very, very interesting right there. Very fucking interesting. Remember that number, the 0.5, and also synonymous with essentially the fucking dump. Yes, it did dump lower the day after, but this is really where it started, as Bitcoin just absolutely fucking had the catastrophe of downside. So we can do the same thing over here. Again, remember that number. We'll get rid of this one because we're no longer looking at upside moves anytime soon. And what we'll do right now is we'll take a bearish retracement using the same numbers. And guess what? If we do it on a closing basis, the 0.5 would be about $50,000. That's rather interesting. That's your Wyckoff drop off right here. By the way, that was the confirmation of a distributive top. And if we do go wick to wick in this case, it'd be about 47,200, basically in line around this last closing low right here as well. So anywhere around there, 47 to 50,000 bucks is really where I would start to get like macro bullish on Bitcoin once again, perhaps. But until then, I do think that it is a bit risky, and Bitcoin can very easily come back down and play into range down to 36,000 bucks. We even see the bottom side Toronto band actually curling around there, currently speaking, about 37,000 bucks. So that would be an obvious short-term bounce area once again if Bitcoin does come down around there. But it should be denoted that MACD histogram has finally started to loosen on the momentum for the first time since this dump really started yesterday. Now following through with that again today. And just do I want to talk about this? This is actually really interesting. It's actually kind of interesting, but I won't talk about that one. I'll save that maybe for another day. We also see SMI momentum over here starting to wane as well, which is also a good sign that at the very least we get a bit of that snapback activity. And also we do see that the ADX DMI, remember, this did give a massively bearish signal that did give us the big warning on the 10th of May, just about, almost 2 weeks ago now. But as you can see, the ADX is a signature of trend strength. And if that is, and if you look at it as such, well, you can look at this region anywhere above 70 is like extremely aggressive. And typically speaking, things do not stay up there for too long. So that could imply that we do get a little bit further, yes. But all the times that we have hit these upside, these like really aggressive reads above the 75 marker on the ADX, these have actually only been on uptrends, funnily enough. If I bring you back to March of 2020, where the hell was that one? Let's actually see. Where is it? It's got to be, where are you? It's right here, actually. So we're actually above that region as well. Wait a second, that can't be right. Hold on. No, that's because that's May. Jesus Christ, man. Don't know my months, man. Don't know my months. It's actually right here. Here's your March 2020. We're pretty much right around there on the ADX. So very interesting stuff as well. If this one starts to get a negative slope, then that would be another good signal that at the very least Bitcoin does get another try back into like the mid $40,000, not $4,000. Now, of course, all of this is, is in place. So it's a potential right now. I do look at this as a potential macro low. It all has a potential. It is not confirmed just yet. Personally speaking, I actually do think that it will work out as such, but my opinion is not what I trade. My opinion is fucking worthless. And if you've been on this channel for, even a few months, you've seen my opinion be absolute dog shit plenty of times, enough times to know that if I do trade my opinion, I'd probably be broke. I trade the technical analysis in this case. And in this case, until we hit one of those major things, confirming that as a reversal. I still do trade this one with caution. I do not hold long-term long positions, but above those areas that we spoke about earlier, I would seriously consider it. And you can't really say until like you actually do it, but I'd very likely do it, personally speaking. What's up, Mr. Cade? I doubled my portfolio because you called the red dildo penetration. Huge props from Chicago. My fucking man, Chicago, 69. Oh man, massive love from Chicago, man. I actually have a warm spot in my heart from Chicago. I really liked being there, man. But very happy to hear that, man. That's awesome. Again, I understand that some people here, who might not be of the same opinion when it comes to trading, this kind of difficult things to hear. But please understand, this community is for traders, and man, I just want to congratulate you because that's fucking seriously awesome. It's very difficult to make money. Especially it's very difficult to make money during times like that, and you didn't just make money, you made a shit ton of money. It sounds like doubling your portfolio is no small feat. Now it's your job to hold on to that, my friend. Capital preservation, my friend. And one of the things that I really had to kind of come to grips with as a trader was you don't need to catch every fucking move. So one of the things that I typically would do after making like a big gain in a short amount of period is like maybe take some time off, or at the very least I got into this practice, which I actually learned from Tony Robbins, funnily enough. Like, say what you will about him, but I thought this was a pretty good thing. Whenever you do something that like, you want to reinforce, reward yourself for it. So this is the time to like go, take some of that money out, realize it, hold it in your hands. You're like, holy shit, this is actually real. And I don't know, then throw it at some fucking strippers and live it up for a couple nights, or do whatever the hell you want. Hey, what's up, Scott? God damn it, Scott, motherfucker, man. I can't. I must be getting trolled at this point, man. We can look at that in a bit, Scott. We'll get there when we get there, my friend. Anyways, I do need to talk about downside here too, because while we have spoken about a lot of a lot of potential good things to the upside here. Oh my fucking lord. Oh dear lord. While we have spoken about a lot of potential good things here to the upside, a lot of them are unconfirmed, and quite literally until we get even a higher low on a 4 hour, there's no talk of like an actual confirmed low. I mean, even then it's like you really want to see it on like a 12 hour or daily for Bitcoin specifically. I think there's maybe a few other things I wanted to mention on Bitcoin. Yes, okay, this one's a big one as well. Okay, Bitcoin on the weekly Bollinger Bands. Bitcoin on the weekly Bollinger Bands, even in the most nasty of nasty dumps, has very rarely even broken below it. And even during coronavirus dump times, you can see that it did break below it, but it never got fall through on top of that. The only time that I've ever seen a little bit of fall through on it was way the fuck back on over here on the drop from 6,000 to 3,000. That was just for a little bit lower. So if Bitcoin does drop the bottom out here, which how would you know that Bitcoin actually drops at the bottom? I would say below about 34,000 bucks. We can dial that in over here perhaps. Yes, our last local low is just around 36,750-ish region. Technically speaking, I'd want to see it below 35,000 bucks actually on a 4-hour closure. That'd be my lower low. I'd start to look towards moves towards $25,000. And yes, that is still very much potential right now. I know that's what people hate about technical analysis. Like, you're saying that it could go both ways. No, you have to understand, unless you're a fucking fortune teller, as a trader, you need to have a plan for what happens on both sides of things and a bias for when that becomes more and more likely. So that would be my condition for that. So please understand that, again, if you are new to this channel, because that can, I know that can be annoying. It's certainly annoying for myself when I was first learning this, but holy fucking shit, man. Guys, I would greatly appreciate it. I really do appreciate the love on the chats, fellas. But if possible, could we please just hold off for a second here? That would be absolutely amazing. Oh dear Lord. All right. Okay, cool. So yes, I want to go back to the weekly over here. Weekly 55 means absolutely nothing. It means fucking buckus. so don't be relying on that. But I did want to call out the troll underbounce right here. Yes, that first bounce off it, very, 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 very obvious. Yes, and now we get to play the game of do we trend a little bit more or not. But again, if I do pull this back out to the last area that I really think it relates well to what we're at right now, doesn't mean that it has to, but history typically doesn't repeat. It does rhyme. However, there is like sort of a rhyming sort of narrative, a rhyming sort of trend over time, typically speaking. We do see something relatively similar over here as well. You can see a test down almost to the 55 around the bottom side trend band right here. Quick buy back up, and then boom, onwards and upwards for quite some time. And that was actually rather interesting, because once it did pass the 20 simple on the weekly, that was your confirmation once again of game on once again. And guess what? Guess where that is? 49,000 bucks. So that does play into around or 0.5 Fibonacci retracement right there. So I would feel very, very comfortable saying Bitcoin back above, especially 50,000 bucks. You probably even say 48 to 49. I would start to get macro bullish once again. I imagine that does come alongside a full-on printed buy signal on the hash ribbons over here. If those things start to happen, I'm going, I will trade with confidence to the upside for long-term trades. For now, it's just short-term trades, but it's certainly very much a what's it called? It's a possibility here. Is there anything else in the 2-day or 3-day I wanted to call out? 2 days looking actually pretty shitty. Actually pretty fucking bad. 3 days going to be closing tonight. If the 3-day closes above the bottom side Toronto band, I'd look at that as a really, really good signal as well. So fair enough. We do have some hopium and dopium on both sides, but I do want to represent both sides well. I do think that there's more sides or at least more weight on the on the hopium side here. However, at the end of the day, as always, there needs to be a bias for the other side as well. I'm just curious if caretaker's SEC over here has any sort of natural proclivities. We do see actually, are we on Bitcoin? Yeah, we are on Bitcoin. We do see daily stocks actually turning up. Will remain to the upside as long as above 34,100. I'd say that's, well, I shouldn't say that's really likely, but we are about 6,000 bucks away from that right now. So it's looking at least good for now. What about 12-hour will also remain upside postured as long as Bitcoin's above 32,250. So I do like that actually the 12-hour is a lower price than the daily for remaining momentum to the upside, but it's really around the edge of the bearish control zone where you do expect a little bit of displeasure if it is going to happen. So, I would be looking for it to naturally come up here probably over the weekend. And then if Bitcoin wants to continue on to the downside, probably early next week if that's going to happen. But for right now, things are okay. Lower term timeframes, however, are going to actually still remain upside postured as well. 36,650 for the 4-hour, 3 hours showing 41,340. So that one's getting close to turning down here. Very, very close. 2 hours actually already coming down, and hourly is coming down as well. But I do see this as more or less, more or less okay on the whole right now. So I think that's about it for what I wanted to speak about on Bitcoin. I think we got a lot of things out right there. A lot of things to be cognizant of. I also want to just briefly check out NASDAQ futures on, just check out NASDAQ futures. So we were looking at SPY futures yesterday. We did get our move down to the targeted region yesterday. Krown was off by $5. Fuck him. He's wrong again. He's wrong again. This is actually looking good for a short-term reversal back above 4170-ish region. This little last lower high, I'd look for extension all the way up to 4200. And does that play well with Bitcoin? I mean, that has been the trend. I mean, this kind of does set the tone for general markets on the whole, it seems like to me. And so far, so good. I do like this buyback on the weekly thus far. Yes, we do have a long trading day left to go, but so far, so good. And I do like the short-term stature on this one. We do see 4-hour TSI also getting above or just above the zero bias zone, which would put in the bullish buy zone. And we do see 4-hour RSI looking decent enough here as well. So I do look at this as reaccumulation as it is right now. And taking out this high right here, we'll have a tentative target back up to about 4,200. If that happens, I'd feel very confident with looking for Bitcoin back into the mid $40,000 region. And then we get to play the short-term timeframes once again. So okay, so cool. I guess we'll go back to Mr. Scott Carney, but God damn it, Scott, I'd really appreciate it, man. If this, like, I actually sincerely mean this, man. Please, in the future, please stop doing this. I say that with respect, man. I say that with respect. I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but we do have to set some rules. We do have to set some boundaries here. All right, you want to look at symbol NOK. I believe this is Nokia. Is that right? Nokia. Yeah, it is Nokia. It trades. It's actually a Finnish corporation, in fact. You're looking at weekly Fibonacci targets, sir. Give me targets. Give me fucking targets. There is no weekly Fibonacci targets to give you here, man. It's a reversal formation on the low, though. I would be looking for a weekly move up to about $5.90 to $6. This actually does look like a weekly reversal right here. Long term, shitty as fuck chart, yes, but I do look for some weekly upside. I'd be looking for a weekly lower. I'd be probably looking for a monthly lower high somewhere around about $6 or so. But at least for now, I would favor the upside here. Do like the weekly RSI remain in the bullish control zone. Weekly TSI also turning up above the bullish buy zone as well. Looks good for a move here. Anyways, Robacha says, "Hey, Krown, what's up, man? Charlie bit my finger. Why is it racist to do the fucking Asian voice, but not racist to do an English voice? Why? I need to know. I need to consult with the internet dogs right now. Why is this?" As I finish my coffee. Well, it's not finished just yet, but we're getting there. I need to grease the old fucking windpipes because my voice is already getting into raspy lesbian territory right now. All right. Anyways, one of the internet's first viral videos gets auctioned as an NFT on Origin Protocol in 2 days before getting deleted forever on YouTube. How's OGN recovering? Really? They're gonna delete it from YouTube? Man, that seems like a bad Jew, honestly. Why, man? I can't watch that video anymore. It's a great video. Next, you're going to tell me that you can't bring up the Brian Kelly video anymore either. If you know what I'm talking about, you definitely know 2017. Okay, so how's OGN recovering? Not as well compared to a lot of the other better acts that we saw yesterday. But again, Bitcoin sets a tone here. As long as Bitcoin kind of holds the 200 simple on the daily, it's okay. And as long as Bitcoin actually this one's actually recovering decently well thus far. Now, do we have any sort of hidden bearish divergence in progress? Actually, no, we do not. At least not yet. Where's our last high? Right here. We're operating on a lower basis than that on the RSI right now. Good buyback volume right here. I'd probably be looking for an extension back up to 113, 114ish region. Actually, I take back my initial statement. Not so bad. Not so bad, at least for the time being. But again, it's better to look for Bitcoin on direction here and then relate that in terms of relative strengths to the ones that are acting well. So this one is acting a little bit better than Bitcoin, I actually would say in this case. But let's go into okay, yeah, we did the 4 hour. What about the daily? Daily, I'd like to see a closure above the 200 exponential average. If that can happen, this is going to look like it wants to actually make a move back up to like 130, 133 region. Would be okay, actually. Would be decent. Pull back to the 200 simple as it does remain in a with the positive slope is not that bad. In fact, see what the weekly says as well. Not giving us too much on the weekly. Weekly actually looks pretty damn shitty, but has this one been beat up enough already or not? Perhaps yes. I think Bitcoin sets the tone here, though. Super Googly Lee says, in 2017, 2018, Bitcoin topped out, followed by Ethereum, then all sheet coins exploded to the upside. If we did two at $65,000, should we scale into sheet coins now or sit in dollars and wait? Well, no. I would say you missed your chance on the sheet coins, sir, because they were going absolutely fucking moon mode when Bitcoin was in this region right here, just above $50,000. That's when it was doing it. So I'd have to say I probably disagree with that. At least or it's not that I disagree with it. It's just I don't think that that's what's happening here. No, I think that you missed your opportunity over here. When Bitcoin ranges, yeah, the sheet coins can catch up a bit, or in some cases for the very strong ones like that Matic shit that we saw yesterday, just probably actually fine. We got to check on a Matic today. That thing was really impressive. Really fucking impressive, man. Type it in over here. Man, I'm already sweating like crazy. This is insane. I am not going to survive this day, I don't think. Let's see. Wow. I can't fucking believe this, man. I can't fucking believe this. This is incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive. Even as a green weekly. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. You know, plays in a range on the short-term time frames, maybe back down to like 167, 165, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it for now. Maybe I revise that. Maybe back down to like just below 160, but this is definitely one of the best one of the best actors in this market thus far. To give an idea. Separated, what's up, man? Sol USD, Solana. I think this one was one of the better actors as well. So let's definitely do the perusal on this one here too. Sol USD. Let's see. Yep, it looks like it probably does have a green week. Nope, it's just right red, but very good move off the 21. The buying is real. It does look like it. I can't hate this, man. I want to hate it. I can't hate it. I can't hate it. You know, pretty massive down. Let's see how far down it did trade. Yeah, about 52.5%. Now already covering, oh my God, more than half that it looks like. Wow, very impressive. Very fucking impressive here. Let's see what the lower term time frames say, or what time frames did you give? 4 hour, daily, weekly. 4 hour, I look for it to trade sideways in this range where it is right now, between about 46.5 all the way down to the 200 right here at about 41.5. But I do look at that as a base. I do look at that with googly eyes first and foremost. Daily, as long as it's above all major moving averages, I am not bearish on anything that's doing that ever. Just short term time frame pullbacks is what I look for. And weekly is, I mean, if this thing closes like this, very fucking. I'd look at this as very fucking good. I might even say bullish, especially if it takes out this week's high, which I know that's not too helpful, but you do have a very obvious sort of bias doji dildo right here. And on all jokes aside, this actually is a really, really easy sort of formation to trade. If you take out the top side of it, you're very likely to continue with trend in that direction. In this case, this one's probably going to run towards $70, maybe more. If you take out the bottom side of this one right here, you can get ready for the red dildo party, and that probably comes alongside Bitcoin, you know, breaking back down below 34 to 35,000 bucks, and I'd be looking for a move down to about 14 bucks here. But overall, I do favor this one. This one's definitely been acting one of the best. This one and Matic are very interesting charts. They deserve a lot of respect, and if Bitcoin does pull itself up by its bootstraps here, I would expect these ones to be the main beneficiaries of that, or significant beneficiaries of that in comparison to the rest of the market. They're, you know, this really speaks for itself. This is very, very impressive, extremely impressive here within the context. But again, Bitcoin does decide the direction. So as long as Bitcoin remains sideways and up, not taking out that critical $35,000 region, I would actually look at this one with extremely favorable eyes. Anthony Russo says, your thoughts on Cardano for the short to midterm? Okay. I think we can pull it up right here. Let's see what she's got. I think Cardano was maybe one of the better actors as well. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say it's on the better side of things. Yes. Remaining above the 21 is certainly a win in this regard. So you said short and medium term. I'll do a 4 hour and then maybe a 12 hour. Short term, could it come back down to 154, 153 region? Yep. I would look at that as an opportunity as well. I do think that it probably does have a little bit of short-term downside here. However, if we go to the 12-hour, I mean, we do have a downtrend on the 12-hour for what it's worth right now. Especially if you do come back down below the last 12-hour low, this will be your lower high now, wouldn't it? And then maybe we could actually extend. No, it'll still be like 150, 153 to 154 region target. I don't hate it. Again, Bitcoin does decide the direction here. So I would look at this one a little bit relatively weak in comparison to like Matic and that Sol thing that we just looked at. But, overall, I mean, this is a pretty good response thus far. It's kind of hard to hate that. Yes, we do have bearish divergence, but that move played out so fucking fast, not even tradable in my, at least for me. Looking at this right here, yeah, I would be looking for a little bit of short-term downside. But here's the thing. You got an obvious range, and this is what I can leave you with. This is what I'd stand by in this case. 185, or it looks like we already got this marked off, so that was for the very low term time frames. This is obviously your last local low right there. I'd even just move this up to the 200, right around about 154, and as long as it plays within here, overall okay. Above here, I'd look for another retest of 215-ish region, maybe even maybe even a retest of prior highs in that case, but one thing before the next, obviously. And then if it does fall back down below here, 152, I imagine that would come alongside Bitcoin actually breaking down below 35,000 bucks, and then you can get ready for 1.25 probably. But as it stands right now, I give this one the benefit of the doubt. Short term, a little bit of downside, but I would be looking for it to give another try to the upside overall. This one acts well. Again, deserves respect. So this is actually a really important time to be focusing on recognizing which coins are acting relatively well. Because while we have pulled up about three pretty damn good ones, not all of them look like this. In fact, the vast majority do not look like this. So I would say that deserves a lot of respect. A lot of respect, actually. Holy shit, man. Holy fook. We got the spammers back in the comments now too, but that's okay because our moderators are here and they are at the ready. They're at the battle stations. Fucking love it, man. BK says, hey, Krown, can you look at FTM USD on the 4-hour, daily, and weekly? Sure, man. We got symbol FTM USD. This one's Phantom. I think we saw this one on the winners list today. Nope, probably not. Nope, 4-hour death cross coming in. I favor the downside right here. I'd be looking for another move back down to about 39 cents. Do we break that area or not? We do potentially have a higher low on the daily in formation right now, but that gets destroyed below 32.5 cents. So I would look at that as a hard base here. And short term, or did you give me time frames here? Yeah, you did. 4-hour, one day, and weekly. 4-hour pressure is down, man. Pressure is down on the 4-hour. You can use this as a pivot now. This is going to be your next lower high on the 4-hour. Above 48.5 cents, I would be looking for a run up to about 59. I don't think that that's what's happening right here. However, I do think this one tries a little bit of downside first. Probably tries for another low behavior somewhere around about 39.5. And then I give it a chance after that. Daily, that would be a higher low. That would be long-term good. Again, another one of the better actors, I suppose. Weekly looks pretty shitty, actually, to be honest with you. I do not like the weekly, actually. I do not like the weekly at all. So that's going to be a difficult one. This one's going to be a difficult one. I do not feel all that confident on this one, to be honest with you. I want to see what this one looks like actually on my tertiary charts over here, and see what momentum is showing on this one specifically. Let's see what we got. All right, this is our, let's maybe get off the fucking hourly. How about that? Yeah, 4-hour, looking for some downside. Let's see, daily. Yeah, daily, I'd give it a chance. So short term, yeah, 39.5. I'd look for a bounce there. I'd actually kind of like the daily here. Daily momentum is trying to twist up right now, as long as it closes above 38 cents. So that actually would fulfill that target, and then some. Michael Bianco says, macro T on VIA, revisit EXCL macro. Sir, can we just do one at a time, man? There's a lot of people here today. I'd really appreciate it. If we just were aware. But we can see VIA, EA on VIA. Which exchange do you want? There's a lot of VIA here. There's a lot of VIA, so it would be a good idea to call out your exchange just so that we can make sure. In this case, I'm gonna guess maybe you're German. Maybe you are German. No. Or maybe we just look at EXCL, and that would be easier to do on top of all of this. Or maybe you're talking about cryptos here. Oh, you probably are talking about this shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Macro TA on VIA. This is a very shitty chart, actually. Extremely shitty chart, man. Definitely relatively weak in the grand context of things, but it's going to run with the rest of the market, I imagine. Short term, I favor the downside. I think this one comes back down to like 85 cents region. But you asked about macro. This thing I do not like. I do not like this thing at all on the macro scale, man. Very bad on the macro scale. This is, look, man. There are so many good charts that are acting okay within this market during this time, like relatively okay. This one is not one of them. It's certainly not one of them. It's a very, very bad chart. Long term, I really do not like those straight down charts. It's really fucking bad, especially within the context of like the last 6-7 months when all shitcoins that have wanted to rally are allowed to rally. I mean, Dogecoin was rallying, man. You don't need fundamentals. You don't need fundamentals, man. Pablo Sal says, bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, mon ami. Please look at Snap hourly daily. Oh yeah, let's look at some real stocks. We got some real stocks over here. We got some, hey, whoops, I can't spell. Fuck me, man. Can't spell. All right, New York Stock Exchange. Let's see. Okay, putting in a higher low on the weekly, it looks like. I would be looking for this one to trade back up to 62. I do think that does this one trade in NASDAQ? I don't know if it does or not, but I imagine it probably trades with it. And I imagine the short-term strength in traditional market indices probably does help this one up. I'd be looking for this one to pop back up here. 60. What was it? 62? Yeah, a little bit above 62 maybe. What does the daily say? Yep, daily is good for a higher low right here. Bullish divergence off the low, good. I'd be looking for short-term move to 59. Probably short-term pullback there, and then continuation back up to this prior level, just above $62. Now above that level, I mean, you gotta start thinking new highs after that. That's fucking crazy. Daily TSI turning up, although it is in the bearish buy zone, and daily RSI, like I said, bullish divergence off the low too. I do like that. Very, very, very nice higher low right there. At least for now. Hey, what's up, Abbott Dynamic? It's been a few days, man. Hope you're doing well. Man, I'm doing all right. I got finally like 8 hours of sleep last night for the first time this whole goddamn week, but because all of the nights I've been like sleeping for 3 to 5 hours, it hasn't made a whole hell of a difference, to be honest with you, man. Hope you're doing well though, man. I haven't seen you in a couple days. All right, all good, Scott. All good, man. I do appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. All right, well, don't get BFARF. It's all in the name, BFARF, Bitfarms. Guessing this is a miner of some sort. Is this potential higher low in place? Could be, but not as obvious here. Then again, some people would look at this as an inverted hammer dildo right there. And we do have continuation on top of that. It's okay. It's okay. Weekly, I imagine this one's going to be tethered like literally with Bitcoin. Moi moi, Elsa. Short term, I'd be looking for it to trade back down to like 420. Great number right there. And I'd be looking for a bounce there too. Similar to Bitcoin. Short term, maybe a little bit of downside, but I would be looking for a bounce off those, off those short term levels. And then very likely another try to the upside. This one, I'm never going to hate a higher low structure, man. And this actually, technically speaking, does have a better structure than Bitcoin currently speaking. I mean, it still holds the higher lows here. I mean, you even have what would assume, I already have it in there. Look at that. Every once in a while, that TA bullshit seems to work. I don't know when you asked about this one last, but yeah, still playing on this level right here. I'd be looking for it to bake within this ascending trend, which is a bullish reaccumulation formation. So the bias would be on a resolution to the upside long term, but I want to see it. I want to see it consolidate there a little bit longer. I think you're getting pretty close. Maybe late this month to like mid June is what I'd be looking for. All right, sweet. Michael Crooks, what's up, man? GPS, where would you short it right now after 4 hour daily? It's pointing down, down. Okay, symbol GPS. I'm guessing this is a stock too. Nice. Okay, gap. Gap, huh? It's in the name, man. Okay, yeah. Gap. Okay, yeah, we do have we do have a runaway baby over there. Okay, so you're looking at 4 hour and daily. We can go to the 4 hour right now. Daily's obviously down, 4 hours also down. So short term and both daily are down here. Maybe another short term bounce off this level, like very, very short term, but ultimately I do agree with you. The direction is down. We're to be looking to short it. I like to short on the confirmation of a continuation of trend here. And where's your last local low? That'd be right here. So basically any sort of a move below our current low, which is what, 3230. I don't like trading breakouts. So to be honest with you, I like trading ranges. That's just my style. Daily TSI down, daily RSI bearish divergence, daily Joule is just cruising to the downside. So I'd be looking for a bounce off the 55, but does this one continue long term? I think this one does have a good chance to continue long term. I do think the weekly wants to come down to the 21 here. Now, long term, it's not bearish. That's the problem. So you can't, if you do trade short, if you do trade with a short spot on this one, at least if I were trading this, I would only be in this one for a short-term trade. Of course, it's not financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'd say at most like 29 to 29 in a quarter region. If this one really wants to come down, but golden cross on the weekly, I do not trade against that. I think that you are trading this one, at your own peril. I'd be looking for the next opportunity, honestly, on the other side. First and foremost, below the 21, maybe start to get a little bit a little bit more long-term bearish. But for now, I give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see. Nero Strudden says, "Bruh, that hash ribbon indicator printed a buy on Cardano. I would not use this on any altcoins. It is not tested on altcoins. It is not designed for altcoins. I would strongly suggest not using it on altcoins if you if you value your money. Yeah, how about that?" Will I be rich soon? You'll be rich in experience soon because you either get wrecked or you learn. But I can't speak about that in financial terms, sir. I want to be jacked like Crixus and need those dollars. That's right, man. The only way to get jacked is with dollars because steroids are very expensive. Sir, steroids are like the cheapest things of all time, man. Just, well, hey, what the fuck did I do here? I think I just wrecked up my charts. Oh, god damn it. What did I do now? We need to undo this. Oh, thank God. Oh, that was almost, that was almost very silly right there. All right, sweet. I need to be jacked like Crixus, like Manu Bennett, man. Yeah, he's fucking huge. Bible Babel says GGP on London Stock Exchange. Okay, sweet. We got some UKers here. GGP. All right, great land gold. Okay, so some sort of, I'm guess like, oh Jesus, bad, really fucking bad. Short term down to $19. Weekly could be okay. But short term, I would be looking for another move down there. Probably short term bounce. Here's the thing, though: the second that you break below about 18 and 75 cents, or let's just call it 18 and a half, easy to remember. I'm bearish on this one, looking for a trend down to 15 and a half, 15 and a quarter-ish region. But for right now, short term down, give it a chance to bounce. If it does fail below 18 and a half, I look for that one to continue another, like, what is that, like 5% or so. Oh my God, no, that's actually a big move. That's like 10% in traditional on a real thing. That's actually kind of a big deal. let's see what, could you make the argument that it maybe is accumulating here? Yep, you could, but that again hinges on the fact that it stays above 18.5 specifically. So this one very, very close to that region. So that technically is kind of your maximum opportunity area, to be fair, but you also could just be buying a breakdown at the same time. So yeah, I give it a chance there. Long term, decent chart. It is an uptrend on the weekly, so I usually don't like trading against a weekly trend, so fair enough. I'd give it a chance to bounce there first. Perhaps it is going through accumulation long form here, and that would actually be very long term good. Mr. Junior Riggs, good morning to you, man. Good morning to you. Richard Christensen says, brother Krown, brother Christensen, could you take a kids peek at kids? Pastor, did you use the K word at me? A new core for the daily and weekly. Brother Reinhold has invested his most recent donations in tweet calls. Oh man. Well, I'm glad to see that my donation dollars are going to good causes here. Take a peek at new core. All right. Let's see. God wants you to short Nucor. It's in the fucking name. Okay, let's go to the monthly here. I need a bigger time frame. Did you give me time frame? Oh, you did say daily and weekly. Oh yeah, this one's a really good chart, man. Really good chart. I'm long-term bullish on this one. No, I do not fucking short this thing. No. If you are going to short this thing, extremely short-term downside move. I think you play that at your own peril. We already got a little bit of a short-term downside move yesterday. Already ticking back up. I'd look for actually a short-term move back up to about 103.5. Fill the gap there, maybe a short-term down after that. But long-term, man, the monthly, weekly, all higher-term timeframes are extremely fucking bullish. This is a multi-year. Sorry, not even multi-year. This is like a 10-year long consolidation, more than 10-year long, going back to May '08. I'm looking for big moves to the upside, man. Let's see what my macro areas are. So we did sell off the one spot 414. Crazy how that Fibonacci mumbo jumbo works sometimes. Jesus Christ, I did it wrong. Hold on. Let me just scoot this back so we can see a little better. Long term, like if you're talking about maybe, I don't know, a year out or so, I'd be looking for this one to tag up to 150. Maybe not a year, but long term, I'm very bullish on this one, man. A multi-year long accumulation phase getting resolved to the upside. Nothing fucking bearish about that long term, man. I would. Brother Reinhold, man. He invested in 1 week calls. Oh, sorry, man. I read that wrong. My eyesight is terrible, by the way. I need to use your donation. I need to use your church's donations in order to get LASIK surgery is what I need to do, man. Terrible eyesight, man. I can barely see anything. I think Brother Reinhold is actually a pretty damn good investor. God wants you to invest in his treasury in heaven so that you too can also enjoy eternal salvation, sir, from Bula and regular Jesus. Someone suggested the other day that I call him Mohammed Jesus, but I'm also trying not to, get murdered. So I think I'll just not talk about that one. All right, where'd I leave off, man? Fuck. Okay, there we go. Robotcha says, thanks. Yesterday, someone noted we might have searched Spotify rather than Shopify. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I think I did do that. Okay. Oh man, it's very, very. I apologize for that profusely, man. That's again, my eyesight's just terrible. Can you take a peek at the weekly and yearly of NNDM versus Shop? I remember NNDM. I didn't necessarily like it, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what those biotechs do? It just takes like one fucking phase. Okay, this chart is infinitely better than whatever the fuck that NNDM was. I remember that one was not that inspiring. This is very, very good chart right here. Very fucking good chart. Monthly is macro bullish. Weekly is looking like it is resolving this last little consolidation right here, or maybe not resolving, but it's still kind of baking in it. It's actually testing the top side resistance of it. I look at this as a reaccumulation right here too, seeing as we do have higher lows as well, so that does have a bullish bias. Weekly hidden bullish divergence, volatility on the lows right now too. Weekly TSI going back for a full bullish reset. I'm biased to the upside on this one, man. This is infinitely a better chart than whatever the fuck this thing was. Yeah, I remember this thing was like just garbage. I do not like this, man. This is the real chart here. No, sir. No. Yeah, not a fan of that one, man. Not a fan of that one at all. The Shopify chart is infinitely better. Winning Choice 87 says, hey Krown, just want to say, Bull Jesus still loves you. He does still love you? Thanks. Thank God for that, man. I believe once again. To hell with the bear, Jesus. Thanks for everything. Amen. My pleasure. And hopefully whatever Jesus that you pray to blesses you with the Christmas color choice of your dildos too, my friend. Let's see. Serverator says Mara. Okay, this is a this is a Bitcoin miner, I believe. Actually, these should be pretty interesting to look at. Let's see what they're doing here. This is accumulation on the lows right now. Yeah. Maybe swipes the lows again at 19.25, but I do like this area for a nice bottom, and I would be looking for this one maybe over the next few weeks to trade back up towards, what was that, somewhere around about $25.5 to $26. Now long term, technically speaking, no. Yeah, we technically did kind of break the weekly trend in a way. Here's it on log scale. Weekly golden cross. I look at this as an opportunity on the first pass. I'd give it a chance to bounce here. Yes, I do kind of like the daily. A failure below the 55 on the weekly, though, I would switch around to looking at this as a failed bounce and likely to come down all the way to 14.25 and try another bounce there and maybe continue on after a failed bounce there. But that'd be my condition for that. I give it a chance to bounce first. I like what it's doing here for now. Bullish divergence off the current low. Daily TSI is just a ball sack hair away from turning up, it looks like, probably over the next day or two. Well, I guess this one doesn't trade out over the weekend, so maybe Monday. It's back on over here. Let's see. Matt says, not a chart question, but curious about your thoughts on harmonics fibs. You never mentioned other YouTubers do, just not your style. It's not really my style. It's not really my edge, but I do respect it. I think that it can work. I do have several friends who use it as one of their big sources of edge, and I can confirm that they are actually successful. So it does work. There's one of the guys in the Discord who goes by the name Sanctum, who is he's a master of them. He gets some amazing calls with them, and he's able to do stuff that with harmonics that I cannot do with my own technical analysis. But typically speaking, our analyses, when they do match up, it's extremely high confidence trades. So I actually have a lot of respect for it. I don't use it myself. Fibs, I use them all the time, especially in blue sky breakout sort of territories. Also, another guy who's good with harmonics is obviously Mitch Ray on the YouTubes. He's pretty damn good with it as well. But again, not really for me. I'm more of a range trader when I want to actually actively trade. Harmonics are going to get you, usually like bigger moves and kind of like breakout plays, which is not for me. I like ranges as a trader. All right, so let's see. Are we very close to confirming this as hidden bearish divergence? If that happens, $37,000 target short term. Let's see. Anthony Nicholson says, please clarify, what was that insider that held for the dip to 30,000? Please clarify, was that insider that foretold the dip to 30,000 yesterday also posting about another one tonight to 13,000, or was it debunked? I don't know. Look, these sort of things, they're fun to talk about. They're cool, obviously, and it really makes you think, obviously. But I don't. As a trader, I have to look at that as noise. Honestly, you can look at that as legitimate or not, and that's up to you. And look, it did play out, and hey, that's a fucking hell of a call. Problem is, within the context of the internet, there's so many people making crazy calls at all hours of the day that at least one of those crazy calls is going to be right. So I would feel like, look, it's interesting. Could I follow up on it? Well, I don't even think that you can follow up on things on 4chan anyways, because from what I understand, it's anonymous. Now, it was confirmed that post was real, and it did actually get posted before the event, and it did get it to the exact fucking T. Very fucking interesting, absolutely. But to follow up on that and then say that there's going to be another move, we can't even confirm that it's the same guy who's coming back there. And also, I haven't even seen that to begin with. So, my conditions for that, man, I would really only look for like another major downside move if Bitcoin closes a weekly dildo below our last weekly low, which is 32,500. If that happens, we can start to look for big moves to the downside. I don't know about $13,000 first, but I'd certainly be looking towards 25 and $20,000 respectively. But maybe 13 comes up a little bit later, but I take it one step at a time. So that's the way that I trade, and that's just going to be different, I suppose. Doesn't mean that it can happen. It's just I need to see some other things happen first before I start to actually put risk on those sorts of positions. Man, hey, Frozen, you don't need to be so heavy-handed with the. I really appreciate the Mahdi, man, but you don't need to be so heavy-handed with the timing out, man. I think these people are just having a little bit of fun. You really only need to time people out if they're being like, if they're just being fucking annoying, really. If they're being fucking annoying or like spamming the chat or shit like that, then go ahead, man, and give them the boot. But I think these guys are just having a good time, man. What did I just read? Hey, what's up, Manny? Let's see. Abbott says, do you prefer to put risk on when volatility is peaking or cooling when it's or cooling when it's cooling off? If you have a preference. So with options trading, my favorite environment in an options trading environment is when volatility peaks, and then I can sell options against essentially what I believe the range is. That's my preferred way of trading. Now in Bitcoin land, options are, it's actually even hard to find fucking liquid options. I can't trade on Deribit anymore because they don't allow US citizens of any sort, no matter what the condition is, to trade there. So I don't really have that that option open to myself, so I can't really do that anymore. So what do I typically like? I like it when volatility is actually cooling down still, because then I can play the ranges. But with spot and futures, it's not as good, it's not as preferential for myself, but that is where I like to do it. When volatility is turning up, that's when you're looking usually for these trending moves, especially on higher term timeframes. That's your sort of signal for a breakout. Again, I'm not a breakout trader, man. Doesn't mean that you can't be. In fact, many people here are, and many people are very fucking successful with that, but I'm not one of them. I do not like it. I do not like it. I find them pretty damn hard for myself. P2E says, XMR BTC on a weekly, please. Can it break not point out 1-2? Let's see. I think I actually have it over here, maybe. No, I don't. I don't have the Bitcoin pair in there. Let's see. XMR BTC here. I need to get some water. Let me polish off this coffee. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, XMR BTC, I will go Poloniex on this one. And you're looking at a weekly. Can it break 0.012? All right, 0.012 is, well, that's pretty far away, man. It's a weekly downtrend, man. This is honestly not a good chart. I actually like Monero too, but this is a hard chart to love. It's just a weekly downtrend for a very long time. I actually have a lot of respect for Monero, but can the monthly do it? Look, okay, the monthly actually is okay. The weekly, I mean, this is hard to fucking love right there. Look, here's what I'd say. If you're looking for a humongous move like that, I would base things off on the monthly. And seeing as, we only have like another 10 days left in the month to go, I think it's reasonable to kind of wait for something like that. Now, we do have several good things going on right here. We see monthly TSI turning up. It is in the bearish buy zone. Monthly Jewel barely has any data to populate, but kind of bouncing off there. If you want to, if you want to rub, click your heels together and pray to, and pray to Dorothy, but looking at this right here, monthly RSI rejecting the bearish control zone, also good. Do I think that it could happen? Probably does, honestly. I'd like to see a monthly closure above the 21 in this case, which is actually not that far away from where we're at right now. 76,760 or 76. 760,000 as I try to kind of dial in that number right there. Yeah, closure above there, and then yes, I probably would be looking for a test up at the very least to 0.01 right here on the monthly. Does that get around your 0.12? Probably, yeah. And at that point, you're looking at actually a continuation of weekly here. So for right now, if I'm just looking at the weekly, I do not like it. I don't think it's happening this month. Maybe next month. Daily Golden Cross did bounce off the 200 simple, albeit did really fucking dump heavily into there too. I do think it has some short-term upside, but that's not what you're asking about. You're asking about very long-term. I do think it pops back up to like 800,000 plus satoshis, like 820 to 850. Abbott says, you can't have me until Thursday or Friday, sir. You must be busy. You must be living your real life, sir. I do not have one. I do not have a real life. I play video games and then I trade fucking magic internet money, which is another form of a video game. This is honestly the funniest video game is trading, to be quite honest with you. It's just also devastating when you lose money too. Pablo Stuff says, it seems that the prices of graphic cards are no longer SAFU either. Please check on, they haven't been SAFU for like a year now, man. I think my 3090, this computer over here has a 3090 RTX in it, and that's like doubled or 2.5x. I have a 2080 in my streaming computer behind me. And that one certainly doubled as well. It's insane what's going on there. But you're looking at AMD graphic cards. I don't think are that good. I've had to deal with one of them in the past. Fucking hated it, man. But as far as charts go, I think AMD has a decent enough chart here. Long term, man, I'm never gonna hate something that's basically trading on highs. month, or did you give a time frame specifically? Oh no, hourly and daily. Okay, very very low here. Short term, yeah, very likely pops back up towards $80. Now here's the thing: if you get a daily close above $80, I'd be looking at this as a clear and obvious bait signal, meaning that it's very likely to run the other way. Over the next week or two. I see daily TSI turning up. I see daily RSI turning up. I see daily BBWP looking for expansion down here too. From a percentile perspective, it's pretty fucking low there. I think that this one will essentially bait a death cross and then run the other way. That's what I think is honestly really happening here. I think that this one actually has some upside. So hate their fucking products. Love their stock actually. Pretty good stock. Short term, yeah, short term 79.5. Let me sip this water right here. Oh man, holy moly. All right, Frozen Fire says, thoughts on Sushi USD short and medium term? Okay, we got some food coin action coming in over here. Sushi US derp. Okay. All right, bad. Short term down. Short term, the 200 sums can be an obvious area, 1450-ish region. What time frame did you get here? Short and medium term. I'll look at a 4-hour and daily in this case. Not a humongous fan of this chart in comparison to the other ones, to be honest with you. Short term, yes, a little bit of downside. I don't have a great opinion on this one on the daily, actually. Weekly's okay. 12-hour down. Yeah, I think this one comes back down to about 1320-ish region. Probably tries to bounce there, but I'm not a humongous fan of this one in comparison to some of the other altcoins that we've looked at. This one is kind of par for the course, I think, in this market. It's neither like relatively strong nor that weak either. It's kind of just right in the middle there. It's okay. But I do think short term is down. Yes. Tom Sarah's next says, thoughts on Atos stock. Okay, let's see. We got a real stock here again. ATOS. All right. It's a therapeutics. Okay, interesting. 12-hour looks good. Daily looks good. Weekly looks bad, but I do think it has some upside here. I do think it pops up to $4 or so. Could you be in a MAC reversal right here? You do have a higher low on the weekly. Yes, you have the same highs here on the weekly as well. So a break above those highs would imply a nice momentous move. Probably a pretty damn big one too. Like maybe up to $8.50. But these sort of things, man, I imagine, yeah. Don't fucking like it, man. This one's gone all the way from 2100 to where we're at right now at 3.25. Nothing respectable about that long term, but short term, yeah, I do think it's some upside. And, above this level right here, that's actually more than a 2x gain, so not bad. But those, I'm guessing this is like a biotech maybe. These things can pump and dump out of nowhere, man. Z says via BTC on Bittrex, macro TA end of year. All right, well, I'll get my crystal ball out, but I can't promise you that can't promise that I can give that to you. Bittrex, I'm guessing, yeah, Bittrex does have the longest running. Oh baby, oh fucking baby, it's time to call him up. Get him, fucking boys. Bring him to the shitcoin fucking police jail, because this thing, sir, there's so many good looking charts in this market. You don't need to buy a piece of absolute garbage. This is like an absolute piece of garbage. Look, it's first off, it's pump and dump. It literally just pumps up and then dumps out. It pumps up out of nowhere, then dumps down over a long period of time. Over here, it's already fading this current pump. It barely even got up in this last market. Look, fucking doggy coin rallied up in this last market cycle. This one did not. This one is a hot steaming pile of garbage here. No offense. This is obviously no offense to you. I mean, you as a person need to be separated from this as a chart. End of year, dog shit. There's not even a target for this. Just dog shit. It's what it is. Looking at the monthly right here. Bad, man. Really fucking bad. I'd be looking for this one to probably go for another full retrace. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Short term coming down to 2050-ish region. Just disgusting, man. You don't need to. Who has a gun to your head telling you to buy this fucking thing, man? Via BTC, just fucking forget it, man. Disgusting. Ugh. Mario Mara says, hey, sir, look at Amazon. Thank you, sir. All right. Symbol AMZN. Let's see how Amazon's doing. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Yep. Consolidating on the highs. Decent enough. I do think it has maybe a short-term downside move here. Let's see. Whoa, we're just looking at a weekly maybe. No, sorry. I take that back. Short-term probably does trade back up towards 3,300. Daily Daily, if you could take that out that 3,300 high, I would extend that target on the daily to 3,400 coming into next week, anywhere between, yeah, about 3,400. I don't have much to say other than that, but as long as it remains within this sort of rectangular consolidation right here, I do have a natural bullish bias just due to the long-term trend. Monthly is good, man. I'd be long-term bullish on this one. Hidden bullish divergence on the last low around your prior highs. I do think this one probably very likely does break to the upside overall, but at least short-term I would be looking for a north side move. Pretty good. You know, they do kind of like run the whole world. They got the most richest man almost in the whole world as well. It's not bad. Hey, what's up, Chad Mahmoodi? Chad here. Hey, Krown. Chad here. What's up, Chad? Good to meet you, Chad. Tell me, AMD, they had a buyback announced by the woman CEO. They have. Still think it's going to 59. God bless. IG. Hey, awesome, man. Actually, I don't really use Instagram all that much, man. In fact, if you ever try to contact me on Instagram, my girlfriend actually manages the Krown's Crypto Cave one. So you're just talking to Elsa most likely. Which is fine. So we already looked at AMD. I forget, I remember I said bullish. Okay, so you said still looking at 59. It looks like no. It would look like no. I don't think so. No, I'm going to be wrong about that one. I do think. I think that this one's got some short-term upside. Again, especially considering the strength that we're seeing in Nasdaq right now. I think I'm going to be wrong about that. Certainly, this is decent enough here. Long-term, you know, where would my sort of bias for 59 target start to become realized once again? Below our current low structure, you have a very obvious low structure right here. Very fucking obvious. 72.5. Below there, yeah, you can talk about, you know, big bad moves to the downside, but this one had its chance to break down right here. When it didn't take that chance, that's typically going to be a pretty damn good signal on the other side. So yes, I do stand by my call that, you know, I would have traded this one bear, or maybe I wouldn't trade it because I don't trade breakouts, but I would have been bearish over here. But in this case, you know, it had its chance. I don't think it's doing that right now. I actually don't think that it's doing that right now. The Legend Ali Z says, "You hating on AMD again? You need red dollars in your life, sir." Hey, as a chart, man, not bad. As a product, I despise it, man. I've only had tears with AMD. Only had tears. Dixie on the brink says, Abbott. Let's check it out. What is Dixie doing right now? Yep, hanging around that 89 spot 75 region once again. I don't know. Did we get another wick down? Let's see what the weekly says. Yeah, coming into a weekly close here. It ain't looking good. I guess the one good thing about this one breaking down is it probably does help out Bitcoin. Oh Jesus, yeah, this is getting to be pretty fucking. Fuck, I'm gonna be wrong about this one bouncing, or at least the bounce has failed already. You want to call it that? That's hard to ignore right there. Monthly. That's also very hard to ignore. Monthly hidden bearish divergence in progress here too. It's looking a lot more likely that this one wants to break down. I'd still wait for the weekly close like today, but this is not how you want to see it close on the weekly. On the weekly. If this one closes a bit more like a hammer above $90, yeah, you can make an excuse for it coming in next week. Says, hey, you know, still it might put another short-term rally here back up to like 91. But for right now, this is pressure down. Especially if it closes like this, I will. It's looking pretty bad, man. I think I'm going to be wrong about this one bouncing here. At least the bounce that we saw last week, that's going to get faded. I mean, maybe that was it. That was to $91. So technically speaking, the target was met on that. So yeah, Jesus Christ, man. That actually probably would help Bitcoin out a little bit. Well, Boolah Jesus gets a few more green dildos in his ammo box. It looks like. Let's see. Brother Richard Christensen is back. Brother Krown, we took a massive loss the other day, and I've been praying. Oh, well, to which Jesus? How can we reflect during such turbulent times, brother? For the clergy. Okay, so this is like a real question. How do you deal with taking a big loss? Okay, so how do you deal with taking a big loss? First off, what I typically do during those times, what I've found to be the best practice is to first take a little bit of time off. Sometimes this would be like a week, sometimes it'd be just a few days. But what I want to do during that time off is I want to let my mental state come back down to neutrality. I don't want to be trading that emotional mind state. Then what I want to do is I want to do something constructive. I want to go back and figure out what went wrong. So you didn't necessarily specify what went wrong there. I'm going to guess within the context of this market, you probably held like a long in any cryptocurrency name and probably took a major loss there. In that case, that means I would imagine it probably has something to do with risk management. So that would be something to revisit. And in my experience, the main thing or one of the things that helps me and what I can say as a blanket statement is what I uploaded a video maybe like a couple months ago. It was something along the lines of I forget exactly what the exact title was, but it referenced these words, trading checklist. If you can search that up in YouTube, it'll have it there. I give you essentially a template sheet that you can fill out that will run you through your own strategy. And then from there, you can actually go through and backwards engineer what the fuck went wrong. Now, because you didn't really include too many details, I don't know where to go with this, because it could have been that you didn't have a strategy, at which point, okay, then obviously make a fucking strategy. That's what the sheet is for. It could have been that you had a strategy, but you didn't follow the strategy. Well, then that's more of a psychological type thing, and that means that, you know, you need to take more responsibility with actually being adherent to your plan. It could be something else as well. I don't know, because you didn't specify there, so I don't know what to say exactly, because this can be taken multiple ways. But I can point you towards that video, because that's going to give you like an actual template to work off of, and then you can, you know, you can backwards engineer from there. But just with that statement, without any further details, I don't really have a good way to take that, and I apologize if that's not too helpful, but that can go a lot of ways. Praying is good, but after praying, you need to take action. After praying, you need to take action. Action is what actually brings things back together. You know, it starts with thoughts, then actions, and then emotions actually too. But that's a whole other topic for another video perhaps. Michael Nikkei says NFY USD. So this is Forex, I'm guessing. NFY. I like Forex. What is this? This is a nothing. Or NFY ETH. Oh, okay. This is a crypto actually. NFY. Oh, this thing. Okay. Non-fungible urine. Oh boy. Down on the 4 hour. Short term, 0.055. Probably more medium term, back down around here, 0.046 region. Daily, down. 0.05 region. Weekly. Not enough history on the weekly to properly analyze it, but daily and 4 hour down. Now I would get very bearish on this one if it takes up the prior low, but at least for now, just short term down. Major drives of hidden bearish divergence on this run right here. Daily TSI in the bearish bias zone, 4 hour turning down in the bearish bias zone, not good. Same sort of hidden bearish divergence, 4 hour jewel, bearish posturing. I look for downside here. I look for downside there, sir. Donaldo Armand, definitely Italian. My man Krown, what's up, man? What's up, Donaldo? That's a cool name, by the way. I don't think I've ever met a Donaldo before. I know a Donald or a Don, but I don't know a Donaldo. And I also know an Armand around the world from the Kroll Show. Was looking to get your eyes on Unibright on Bittrex short term. Okay, let's check it out. I'm gonna guess the symbol is UBT. US, no, U. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, cool. Short and medium term. All right, we'll do Bittrex. Let's see what this thing is. Bad. Short term, bad. Short term, I'd be looking for this one to come back down towards 133, 132 region. Daily, okay on the daily. I do think this one gets another try to the upside overall on the daily. 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence off the low. So short term very likely does get picked back on up. Here's the obvious area short term. Well, I do think that the short term, 4 hour does come back down. It probably does put in a higher low. At least that's what the daily would suggest here. And then above 177, I would look for a breakout trade to prior highs in this case, somewhere around like 2.25-ish region, somewhere around here. Anywhere in this little pocket, between about 215 to 225 region would look good. But daily I do like, but 4 hour, a little bit of short-term displeasure to the downside first, and then come back to it. We do have a downtrend on the daily, to be fair, but I always do like bullish 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence on the daily, especially a respectful time frame like that. And TSI on the daily as well is hitting a pretty damn long trend line here, so I'd give it a chance on the daily. Let's see. Okay, whoa! I just lost my place again. Hold on. Where can we get back from? Oh, baby. Okay, got it. Michael Crooks. Hey, Krown, what's up, man? Is good scan setup found scan... What the fuck? Is good scan setup found scan shorts? English? You're Canadian. Must be one of those Quebecois. Is this a ticker? Maybe. I'm gonna look at this. Maybe this is what you want to look at. I don't fucking know. Sir, I need a Google translator for this. This is an absolute terrible chart. I don't know, man. I know that that's a little bit annoying, but unfortunately, I don't really understand what you're trying to ask, and I don't even know if I'm looking at what you want me to look at. I'm guessing probably not, because this is This is not a very interesting stock. Short term probably does try a little bit of an upside movement, maybe to like 59 cents, but I'm never going to like a monthly chart like this that just goes straight down. I'd be looking for long term back down to like 39 cents probably. Let's see. BK says, hey, Krown, if Bitcoin gets below 35,000 bucks and heads to 25, how low do you see Matic going? Okay, let's go back to that chart. All right, so let's look at like a deathly situation here. All right, so if Bitcoin basically takes the path to the downside, where to look for Matic? Very likely back down around here, about 70 to 75 cents in this pocket region right here. The low of this last consolidation would be a good basing point for me. Yes, it would be a lower low than what we saw on the 19th, but that's okay. I still, for what it's worth though, I really like this chart. I really like this chart long term. Yes, Daily Jewel is starting to switch around a bit more into a bearish posturing. It is getting a little bit more critical there. Yes. See what? Oh, Jesus Christ, so high up there. Daily TSI is coming down as well. But look, I never hate anything that's above all major moving averages, and I'd be using the 21 right now as a bit of a basing point. But again, easier to watch Bitcoin. It sounds like you're already doing that, and Bitcoin, just playing between the 200 simple and 200 exponential averages is fine by me for now. I wouldn't really express any major concern on this until we really start to take out like 35,000 bucks. And if Bitcoin does take out 35,000 bucks, there will be bounces along the way to 25,000 bucks. I'd be looking at a bounce, well, probably around the major dump low at about 30,000 bucks. And then, I don't know, maybe another one along the way for a good measure. Let's see, what's this area right here? Maybe another one just around 27.5, but ultimately, yeah, I'd be looking for 25,000 bucks, and then hold your breath. Get your prayers ready, sir. Get your prayers ready. King Cosmic says, hi, SPY, please. Oh, fuck yeah. Here we go. Finally, motherfucker. Lower time frames. All right. So SPY, I really like what it did yesterday. We didn't, I would say this is pretty much talking about. I did say yesterday a move down to about 40.79. We came about $5 shy of that. Kill Krown. Krown sucks. I just fucking love that, man. Like the guy the other day, it's like, Krown, what about that bounce at 39,000 bucks? Like it bounced fucking $3,000 from there, man. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, this one right here, I do see a pretty damn good setup potentially in progress. Okay, so short term. Okay, yes, you did specify short term here. Okay, well maybe you meant like really short term, because short term for traditional markets is like an hourly. It is kind of wedging itself into ascending triangle right here already. Maybe it has another pullback down just below 41.50, but ultimately I do like the short term. I do think it will test back up to 41.75. That is the big test for me. If it can take out this high right here, I'd extend targets towards 4,200 about. And maybe even this just continues towards new highs as well, into next week, but at least, it'd have that buy. So short term, leads into the medium term, and then that will have implications in the long term. Okay. Hey, what's up, Bitcoin Sarah? The woman with the very cute dog, actually. Krown, hi, hello, Bitcoin Sarah. I spent days perfecting my chart settings. Thanks for that vid. But dude, with the Jewel, why don't I have any indicators like yours on my Jewel? I don't have red or green signals on the 412 and daily and weekly. Go into your settings on the Jewel here. You might not have this ticked on. Where is it? Yeah, it would be this tick right here. You want to tick this one on. If that's it, I'm guessing that's probably not on, because that's what's going to make the signals actually go on. Mrs. Bitcoin Sarah or Miss Bitcoin Sarah, who knows? Either way, very cute fucking dog. Either way, but yeah, that's where you get the background signals. If that does not work, Bitcoin Sarah, just send me a message and I can probably help you out with that. Brother Christensen back at it. Sister Margaret is up 35% on her Peloton call. Ooh, nice. She's a great investor, man. She will not sell, and we fear the devil has entered her bet. She's possessed? Sister Margaret is possessed? How can we help her deal with this greed? All right, let's check it out. Peloton. Okay. So she's long some calls. I think Sister Peloton should remain possessed for a little bit longer. I like this one right here. I think this is gonna be another bait and switch. I think this is gonna be a clear bait and switch, honestly. I'd be looking, okay, if Sister Margaret sees any sort of a fucking move above 104.5, hold on to those fucking calls for a little bit longer, at least until 110, 113. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but Sister Margaret, I think the devil is actually I think the devil is speaking in tongues to you, but very helpful tongues, that is. Respect the tongue, Sister Margaret, and that's not a sexual reference. maybe a sexual reference, but still, just wait. At least wait another day, I think. Now below this low right here, yeah, Sister Margaret probably needs to close it and listen to the angel on her shoulder. But that's about 93.5. I favor the upside here. I like daily RSI. I like daily TSI. Volatility turning up after hitting that low. I think that there's going to be a bait and switch. I think it runs the other way. How do we help her deal with the greed? Well, deal with the greed. Okay, so in a more pulled back tone, Sister Margaret, what you should do is, it sounds like you're already in pretty good profit here. Take some off the table. There's no harm in taking a third or half off the table. That's one of my rules. Anytime that I get into a trade that goes in my direction, I take off at least 1/3 as soon as I'm in like even a little bit of profit. You know, it can even be like, if I'm trading like Bitcoin, it can even be like 50 to $100 in profit. I will take some off right there, just by fucking definition. Just realize it. It'll make you feel better. Then you can trade a bit more with confidence. You can maybe even move up your stop loss a little bit as well. So the worst that happens is you get out at break even, or maybe even you get out at a little bit of a profit as well. I would strongly suggest maybe employing one of those rules, because it's really helped me over a period of time. You know, obviously not gonna be for everyone, but in my case, as more of a short and medium term time frame trader, I absolutely stand by that rule at all times. It is one of my hard rules that I do not break. Abbott Dynamics says, thanks sir, more of a range trader myself, nice, but trying to adapt volatility cycles into strategy. I'll have good rhythm but often get one good shish kebab when volatility is topping out, preferred level. Okay, so let me just reread this. But trying to adapt volatility cycles into strategy. I'll have good rhythm but often get one good shish kebab when volatility is topping out. So if volatility, what I would suggest doing is wait until volatility is already topped out. This is why I like an indicator like the BBWP. The reason why I like it is because it tells you in a percentile sort of analysis, percentile statistical analysis, when things are relative to your look back period, which I use a 252, when they are at extremes here. So when you get into one of these more extreme reads right here, you're a lot more likely to go into a period of consolidation. In fact, pretty much all of these reads are accompanied by, at the very least, a bit of a sideways market. That's my signal to trade. But here's the thing, Abbott. I'm guessing that if you're probably already doing that, but what I would suggest on top of that is, look, when it does get into 100 percentile, that means things are incredibly fucking volatile. So you will naturally see big ranges. So if you are going to trade off those in those times as a range trader, don't use the short-term timeframes. Use the higher-term timeframe levels. In that way, you can essentially play with that, because when things are very volatile, they're gonna play in a more greater range. That's why I use the higher term timeframes in those cases. And as it comes lower and lower, you can probably get away with using more and more tight ranges. Dr. T says over 100,000 in Sweetmatic. Oh baby, Dr. T is back at it, man. Buying since 34 cents. In yesterday's video, you could see it go as low as 50 cents. Today, as low as 160. Is that just short term? It was probably short term, yes. Let's see. Matic, let's go to this one. How much is it trading for? And that's hold on. That's kind of a big range right there. Okay, so yes, that was a very long-term look. Someone, Miss Dr. T, to be very specific, what the person was asking there is what would happen if Bitcoin breaks essentially its current low and trades to $25,000 and maybe even beyond. That's at the point I'd look towards a move towards about 70 cents or so, or it was more like, yeah, it was more like 70 cents, not 50 cents. I mean, 50 cents probably would get tested at the same point too. But on a closing base, I'd probably look for like 70 cents. So understand that's an extreme situation. That's really only if the market kind of drops out its current bottom and continues with trend down. Today as low as 160. Yeah, 160 is what 160 was a very short-term time frame. So when I was doing that, I was on like the 4-hour right here, just looking for a retest of this area around the other low. Probably bounce there. It might even already be happening right now. It looks okay. I don't hate this chart, especially within the context of this market as well. This is certainly relatively strong. So yeah, it was just a difference of time frames there, man. So sorry if I wasn't clear with that. This is obviously very short term. That was only if Bitcoin drops out its bottom, then I'd look for that one to really have a creative effect. And yeah, you could probably look for big bad moves. I need to take another sippy sip of this water here too. Oh man. John Sparrow says, I heard XMR is on a fractional reserve at Binance. They are not allowing withdrawals. I think most things are on a fractional reserve, to be honest with you, man. Tether's on a fractional reserve, so take that as you will, man. Take that as you will. Brother Christensen, back at it. Brother Krown, I find myself deviating from God's plan the more I win. Yeah, that's the problem with winning when you haven't had too much experience, which I'm guessing might be your case. I don't say that as like talking down to you, but what I learned from my biggest losses, as we spoke about, maybe you weren't on yesterday's stream, I forget. I'm actually going to upload that in a singular video. But one of the things that I learned more from my losses than my gains, because when you win more and more and more, a lot of the time you get a little bit overconfident and you start to trade against, or just you don't trade your plan anymore. And if you don't trade your plan, you have no fucking plan. So how can I keep the devil out of my pants when the ego inflates? Okay, so how do you do that? All right, so for myself, I had to essentially go broke in order to learn that lesson, man. I can assure you, it's not fucking fun, man. It's not fucking fun having $0 in your bank account. And I've told this story a million times before, but it's not fucking fun going to the grocery store and like trying to buy something, and then the cashier says, sir, your car just got declined. I'm like, oh, let me try another car. It's like, oh, sir, your car's declined again. It's like, oh, it would appear I have literally $0 right now. So that's not fun. And that can actually be a big emotional shock. And when you are shocked emotionally, that is when you're actually open up to change. Look, there's a saying that goes something along the lines of a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man or a brilliant man learns from the mistakes of others. Please learn from the mistake of myself. You don't need to go fucking broke in order to learn that. It was very, very much emotionally devastating for myself, but you don't need to do that. All you need to do is take the utmost responsibility with following your or God's plan in your case. You're the best, Richard. You're the fucking best. So follow God's plan, but it's your responsibility. God wants you to follow a plan, and every time you deviate from that plan, the devil is going deeper and deeper inside of you, and he's starting to possess you. And when he possesses you, then you become the fucking devil's dick. And then that's why you hear about all these priests getting involved with these little kiddos. That's the devil in their mind. They did not follow God's plan. They did not follow their trading plan. And that's and that's honestly the biggest thing. Look, what I learned from that in the most basic of fundamental ways is you need to have a plan, and then you also need to take full responsibility for following that plan. If you do not take responsibility for following that plan, no one else is going to do it for you. This game of trading is very unique in that case, where you are your own boss. A lot of people wonder why, wouldn't it be great to be my own boss? Wouldn't it be great to have my own business? Well, in trading, you are. And guess what? The reason why most people don't do it, it's really fucking hard to do. Look, I know it sounds easy at the outset. You probably say, look, man, I can easily be my own boss. I can tell myself what to do. It's like, no, you don't even listen to yourself anyways, man. I mean, most people here, I'm sure, have had extreme experience to myself. I don't necessarily want to go to the gym every day. But if I don't take responsibility for going to the gym, well, then I turn into a fat fucking slob, and Elsa doesn't like that, and I don't like it either. But the problem is that there's no one else who's going to make you do it. So you need to essentially put yourself into that mindset where, look, if I don't do it, no one's gonna fucking do it for me. And if no one's gonna fucking do it for me, and if I don't take responsibility for it, I can only expect long-term bad results. Yes, you'll get away with a few wins here and there, as you identified. When you win, you typically deviate more and more from your plan because you get more and more confident. You become what that great saying is, don't confuse brains with a bull market. Fucking obviously, man. That is such powerful knowledge right there. Do not confuse brains with the bull market, because look, it has not been very difficult to make money in this market for the past half year to a year almost now. But when things do turn around, inevitably, even in the context of the macro bullish market, these nasty 30 to 50% dumps, they are difficult to deal with, and you need a plan for those times, because it can and will happen. I'll say the same thing as I did yesterday. This is a game of statistics and probabilities. You can have a great plan. You can have a phenomenal plan, man. You can have a phenomenal plan. But if you don't have a plan for what to do, if your plan does not work out, you will inevitably lose. Doesn't matter if you have a 99.99999999999% probability to win your trade. At some point in time, you will get a black swan, you will get a 10 sigma event, and you will go fucking broke. you need to internalize that. If you do not internalize that, it is only a matter of time. And that goes for anyone in that sort of same situation, because I can tell you from personal experience, that is exactly what happened to me. That is exactly what fucking happened to me. It's really, really not fun to do. And it's very difficult to come back from zero. It's very difficult. It can be done. It's really fucking difficult. And the better thing to do is to not get there to begin with. So I want to scare you with what will happen if you do not. The devil he's fucking real, man. And the devil is, and hell, like in this way, you can actually think in a religious sense, hell is real. That is what hell is. When you do not follow your own plan, or in your case, God's plan, you will go to hell. You will actually fucking go to hell. And I don't say that as a threat to you. That is a fucking legitimate certainty. I can tell you that because when I didn't follow my fucking plan, man, it's not good. It's not fucking good, man. You don't want to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that. And if you take responsibility, if I can really just slow down, because I feel like there's something that I need to get out in order to really nail this point in, because I really, really want to nail this in. Look, do not, people will hear the words that I'm saying right now, and they'll just kind of gloss over it in the same way that you gloss over many things. Please, please, please dial this one in right fucking here. You can have what you want if you take responsibility for it. But the second that you stop following your plan is the second that you are fucked. You cannot get away with it. Please understand this. You cannot get away with that long term. Yes, in a bull market, it's going to give you, some greater ins and out. It's going to give you a little bit, it's going to be more lenient over time. But it's just a matter of time if you do not take responsibility for that being the key operating term. If you do not take responsibility for following your plan, which you can fucking do. You just need to fucking follow your own goddamn plan. You will get wrecked and potentially lose everything. So I hope that really does sink in, because that is probably one of the most important lessons that I've learned myself. And you do not need to go through the same things as me. You do not. No one does. If you just take responsibility for it, you will not need to. Legend Ali, you hating on AMD again? Oh baby, I am. Frankie Court said, he says daily on U1. I'm a degenerate chaser. All right, U1. Okay. U1. Here we go. Urban 1. All right. Whoa! God damn! Powerful. I'd be looking for this one to continue up here. 11.5. Pretty interesting, actually. Let's see what this is a 4 hour. Still interesting on a weekly. I like the higher lows on the weekly here too. Yep. I'd be looking for short-term move up to about 11.5. Long term, does this one continue up? We do have a reversal here long term. We got higher highs and higher lows on the weekly, change of behavior in the volume signature over here, hidden bullish divergence on weekly RSI, weekly TSI turning up, volatility expanding along all of this in an uptrend. Good. Very good. Degenerate chaser. I actually like this. Man. It's not bad. It's turning the corner there, man. This, if you are going to gamble on something like this probably is the area where I'd do it. Now, can it play back down to like 7.5? Maybe, yeah, but I give it the benefit. I respect it on the long term here. Dixie back to 84.5 says Abbott. What? I guess that let's see if I'd agree with that. If we break down on Dixie, where would I be looking to? Please don't break down just yet, though, man. I need to switch the rest of my dollars into euros, please. 84.5. I'd be looking for a big bounce somewhere around the monthly 200. That's a hard one to miss right here. It's really fucking difficult to ignore the hidden bearish divergence on the monthly RSI right there. Really fucking hard to ignore. Maybe it does go down to 84.5 over time, but at least I'd look for like a big bounce at around 87. That is also the last, this sort of breakout area over here from this sort of structure. Actually, no, it's not so much. It'd be more like right around here. Let's see what that lines up with. A lot of pivots along that level, to be fair. Yeah, I'd be looking for a big bounce here. Maybe in a bottom, but I wouldn't necessarily call 84 like right at the outset. Just yet. All right. Man, I need some more of this water. My voice is starting to fade me over here. It's really starting to fade me. Cool Guy says, I want to buy 10 cryptocurrency coins, Ethereum or Bitcoin. I will go for. Why not just split them up? Diversify, sir. Diversify. You don't need to go all into one. I think that would be a very, very poor idea, actually. For myself, I pretty much only go for Bitcoin just because, I don't need to hold these things, to be honest with you. I like it. I like that I think that technology is cool and very interesting, and I think that these will have their place in the world. But diversify, man. Diversify. Bitcoin is still an experiment at the end of the day. It's a pretty good experiment so far. The experiment's working so far, but it's still very much unproven. We're still waiting for a lot of clarity on the long-term situation of it. I think actually with the IRS coming out yesterday and making the announcement that they did, I think that that's actually a good thing long term. Hashtag this is bullish. I fucking hate that shit, but I actually do think that it is. To be honest with you. The reason why I say that is because it's offering clarity on the situation. It's also like, what, you just need to report your transactions over 10,000 bucks. I mean, that's just annoying. It's just annoying, creates more paper. My taxes, I looked at my tax returns this year. They're like literally 50 fucking pages long already. Like, whoever's reading these things, man, they're going to blow their brains out for sure. God damn. I'd split them up, man. Personally speaking, I think it's better to go more into Bitcoin, but or a little bit more heavier on the side of Bitcoin, but Ethereum has more potential upside. So if you're thinking about it from an account managing perspective, you don't need to put as much in Ethereum to potentially get as much gains. Ethereum does have more upside long term potentially. Bitcoin, I think, is a better long term idea. And it's a good idea to diversify between those two things, because you're basically getting the best crypto asset, the number one crypto asset, and then the number one crypto application. And that's what they are. By the way, cryptocurrencies are bullshit. I don't think cryptocurrency is like a terrible word for all this shit. It should be crypto asset. These are assets, man. And people get so wrapped up. People get this so wrong, man. This is what people don't understand. And I didn't learn this until like my late 20s, early 30s. I didn't know. I thought that like having dollars and having fiat currencies was like the end all be all. No, man. It's about assets. You want assets. Assets are the way that you can cultivate wealth. And in that case, I'd go for both of them. I'd diversify in both of those, because you're getting two of the front running assets right there. Mahed Al-Fi says, "Sir, range versus breakout trading. Do you close whole position at either end of range?" No. Okay, so we alluded to this earlier, but I like to do my trades in thirds. I both enter in on thirds and I exit on thirds. So entering on thirds, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Exiting on thirds, I take 1/3 profit almost immediately as soon as I'm in profit. 1/3 like basically at what my like general target point is, and then maybe like I'll hold another third if I think that it could go a little bit more and target like the next relevant region, something like that. Ron K says you only lose when your losing trades are greater than your winning trades. That is exactly fucking right. I thought you were going to say you only lose when you sell. No, but you're 100% right, Mr. Ron K. 100% right, sir. Fuck. Okay, where did I leave off now? All right, my voice is starting to leave me, but I think we're almost there, and we're getting close. Are we getting close? Yeah, we are getting close. All right, sweet. Oh my god, man, these streams are turning into 2 hours long. Hey, what's up, Solverine? LMS Trader, hope house buying is going well. Well, it's a lot more bullshit still, but hopefully I get a call today and hopefully I get some good news. But fingers crossed, man. Man, I got to tell you, if you want to buy a house in a foreign country, if you want to buy a house in Europe or at least in Finland, and you're not from Europe, get ready to jump through every goddamn hoop imaginable. I had to go to the bank yesterday and show them like all of my proof of funds. I had to show them like all of my businesses, all of my like all the money that I've access to. Like it's like, would you like to see my ball sack too? I'll just get naked right here. How about that? Mind checking Tellurian, daily and weekly, monthly. Okay. TELL Tellurian on NAS. All right. Good on the daily. Good on the weekly. Weekly's turning the corner. $3 target, I'd say. Monthly, not as big of a fan of it on the monthly, but I do like the daily weekly, at least for a good move up here. Somewhere a bit above $3 is where I'd be looking for. If you can break this last high on the monthly, I'd extend that target significantly back up to 6.5 maybe long term. But daily and weekly, I think are a lot more conclusive on this one. Okay, sweet. Jay Boogie says, "I'm a dumb potato. But do you look like a boiled potato?" 2 years later with your course, I found my style. I learned patience in macros is my style. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. And that's awesome, because what's actually really impressive to me is that we have two completely different styles, but it doesn't mean that we both can't be successful. And that's fucking great, man. And look, man, some people take a little bit longer, like 2 years. Usually I see people about 1 to 1.5 years from the program. 2 years, still respectable though. As long as it fucking takes, man. I'd say it took me about 1.5 years myself. Higher Life 78 says, "Can you look at cake? Looks like bull divs on most timeframes. Thanks, Broseph." Okay, let's see. Symbol. Oh, we got another food token over here. Must be good. All right, monthly barely populates. So you said bull divs on all time frames. Well, you can't have a bull div on a downtrend, so that's. Or sorry, no, you can have a bull div on a downtrend. So yeah, that's actually possible, but it's not there on a daily. 12 hours definitely not there. 10 hour is definitely not there. 8 hour is definitely not there. 6 hour is, wait, maybe. 6 hour. Oh my God, we've got it on 6 hour. But I wouldn't say it's too obvious there. 4 hour. Yep. But that move already played out. So whenever I see bull div, I like to target a move towards the 21, at least the 10 simple, usually the 21 in this case. This one already hit it. And I'm guessing all time frames below that already have it. So yeah, I wouldn't say all time frames, but time frame on the lower time frames, yes. All higher term time frames, all time frames that actually matter. No. Hey, no problem, J Bogey. No problem, man. Bobby Samdumu says, can you check out Telcoin daily versus Bitcoin on Derpcoin? Okay. Bill SB 649 pass spearheaded by Telcoin. Okay. Making Tel first crypto. It's a first crypto bank. Like it's an actual crypto bank. Really? That's kind of cool. Good chart here, actually. Or at least on the 4 hour. Actually, very good. This I would put this in like one of the better charts that we've seen today, actually, for cryptocurrency specifically. Yeah, very good chart. Very good chart. 4 hour up. 4 hour. I'd be looking for it to come back up to 10,000. Daily, above all major moving averages, can't hate that. Hidden bullish evidence, no. Yes. No. You count this as our last local low. Technically that is kind of. Maybe a weekly here. Wow. Fucking wow. I do like it on the short and medium here. I'd be looking for another retest somewhere around like 10,000-ish region. Breakout above about 10.5. 10.5, I'd be looking for new highs. All right, we got Remy says T-Fuel USD on the 4 hour and daily, please, sir. All right, T-Fuel USD, right. Okay, Theta Fuel, Binance, and let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Definitely not on the side of the strongest coins that we've seen today. I'd say this one's kind of in the middle. Trades with Bitcoin here, it looks like. 4 hour and daily. 4 hour, let's see. I think I need to see maybe a different chart. LUSD. Bitcoin looks like it actually might want to pop back up here. 4 hour, like it. Yeah, 4 hours okay here. 4 hours okay. I want to see 4 hour DMI plus get dominant. If that happens, I'd be looking for a short term move back up to 4.5 cent region. Daily above the 20 simple holds it actually pretty good. I'd be looking for just under 5 cents. Acts okay. It acts okay here. I want to see a daily DMI plus signal as well. If that can pop up, I'd feel very confident with this one actually returning back to the prior high of 6 cents. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad, man. Not bad. Oh, we got one more. Abbott says $0 in bank account equals quantum. Yeah. Well, you either have a quantum moment right there or you neck. No, that's a bad joke. You should not neck. But yeah, man, it'll really fuck with you. I'll put it that way. All right, Philson. Last one for Mr. Philson here. We'll look at MicroStrategy. MSTR. So this is Michael Saylor's company. Let's see how he's doing. Looks like he's putting a bit of a low right here. Okay, here's what I like about this. This is one girthy green dildo just closing inside of the bottom side trolley band. I look at that as a short-term reversal. This one's going to play very likely with Bitcoin. Very, very likely to play with Bitcoin. 4 hour MACD about to turn up. Let's see what it looks like on this chart over here. I'm not getting too much from that. I think MicroStrategy just basically follows Bitcoin. I think it will pop up here. 4 hour RSI tells the story in this one, short term, and 4 hour TSI also turning up as well. Short term, I'd be looking for it to pop back up towards about 500-ish region. Do I think that the lows are in long term? It's possible, yes. Possible. Let's see how we close this week, but at least short term, I'd be looking for some upside there. Alrighty, sirs and zers, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm destroyed right now. I'm so fucking tired. It's been a really, really busy week, but it's been so goddamn fun to have this community to basically just riff off of, especially in times like this, man, when, it's price action streaming, you see all this opportunity on both sides of things. Yes, I know that there's a lot of death and despair on this, on this as well, but a lot of hope and prosperity as well. So, I do want to wish everyone well. I want to say massive thank you for joining on in. Oh man, you too, Mr. Abbott. I salute you, brother. I salute you, man. Massive respect, my friend. And massive respect to everyone who's kind of stuck around here and really, either benefited from this market or learned something from this market, because this is not easy stuff to do right now. And this is real trading right now. It's not like it was before for the last 6-7 months where it's just straight to the upside. If you're surviving this, you're doing a damn good job. And if you're just using this time to learn, that's equally as impressive. I just want to say again, thank you. I'm going to be signing off now. I need to rest. Definitely going to sleep this weekend. And with that said, take care and hopefully see you soon.